here in ITCL at Oulton Park this weekend. Lovely old track. Been for a few years. Not really giving us amazing races, but races in the sermon upon will be with Rodriguez second, Suki for Waterford third, Charlie for Adbay in fourth. So don't go anywhere. That's one of the way Suki had an interesting start, but it doesn't look like they got off the line decently. Leaves out one. There's Hamilton and Henry going side by side. Liam Henry at the front of the grid today. He started P6. He's trying to make his way up to P5, and he's going to do that nicely. Thompson 7th, then of course you're going to have Kennedy with Madison running out the top 10. But it's over to reach Rodriguez, Suki, and Charlo, and these four already put away. Waterford and admittedly very strong, aren't they, at the top of the championship. As that's a look by Suki, and he's got trying to get to go around the outside. Rodriguez goes offline, and Suki's up to second. Charlie down to third. Rodriguez is now shuffled back to fourth and fighting with Henry and Harrison. As Henry has to go extremely wide off that corner, but Rodriguez is going to defend it. So we'll have a look what happened to the Mexican here. Actually, we're going to go back a little bit further. So this is what happened here. And then Suki went down the inside. He just lost the back end and then nearly hit his teammate. Henry fifth, Harrison sixth, Thompson so down towards the chicane. We've got a couple of moves being made. That's Harrison going down the inside on Henry. Gets forced to the outside and gets up to fifth place. So position gained for Harrison as he makes his way up into the top 5. Then Thompson, Henry, Kennedy, Kortic, Madison, Nixon, Azachenkov, Saba, and Ness ahead of Jenny, and that's Kona. It's Germany leads over a second to his teammate Suki, with Jarbo third. Rodriguez fourth, so not good for Adbay. That's Azachenkov going a little bit deep on the outside. We got to the inside there, Nixon, who's running 11th. Going down the inside on Madison, trying to get P10 away from the brick. But Madison comes back to the inside, and he's in a home to P10. So you got further down there, you can see Ramicus, who's dropped all the way down to 19th. As you see Azachenkov down trying to get past Nixon, so what's turned from offense into defense here for that, and all of a sudden Azachenkov, well, he falls into the same trap as he drops behind Saba, and he now drops behind Asa to 14th. Let's head further up the field though, because Sharp's been meant to hunt down Suki, and Suki's closing pretty quickly on Zerman. Interested to see where the pace is at. Meanwhile, Nemeth has dropped from 22nd to last, so not sure what happened there. Still on the run towards the chicane. Let's see if Jarwe can get a move going there, which he doesn't. Let's see if Henry has a look at Thompson, the P6, which he doesn't. Let's have a look if any of them make a move. There is a move. That's Kortic trying to get ahead of Archie Kennedy and up into 8th place. It's forced wide, now gets the inside line. And oh, we got yellow flags. Is that behind? It is behind. Just had a moment down at the chicane because we run into a few issues. Oh, that's Wayne Myella. He was towards the back of the field, so what happened here? He was going side by side. Oh, and we got O. So O was the wheel issue here. So he was side by side of Azachenkov just outside the points, and then after braking, lost the back end. Oh, and then Flores, oh, Minax as well hit him. That's why we saw Minax going straight on, and that held up also Myella. So that's why Ohm's race is pretty much over. Suki, Hunting, and Servant though for the lead. The two Warfords about to do battle with Java behind them, and then Rodriguez 2.5 seconds down the road. Java early on in the ITCL. So we have a look here as they start lap 3 of 18. Of course, there will be pit stops towards the end of the race. But looks as if that's going to remain unanswered. Thompson remains ahead of Henry. There we go. Suki on the back of Zerman. Suki hunting down Patrick Zerman, who has shown good pace, but the main issue for Zerman this year has been will the car finish. So Java back in third. Suki has got the fastest lap of the race as well, suggesting he is a little bit faster. We know team orders don't really exist in the WTCL or ITCL. But you can tell at Suki, when he had a bit of a drop off in performance from what I've seen, he started the season amazingly, second at Rockingham. Since then, it's been pretty underwhelming. He doesn't make a move there. A little further down, as we see Kennedy going for the move on Courting. This is for 8th place. Courting got ahead of him last lap. Kennedy returns to favour this lap. Further back, we can see the two Liberties fighting, Savile ahead of Madison, and Jenny trying to get ahead of Ness. This is towards the end of the points, and up to 13th place goes Malcolm Jenny. His teammate, Slavamicus, is dropping down to 2010. So, not sure what's happened to her, but she's just got no way pace today. I think there's also a bit of an underwhelming today. He's down at 24. And here we go. Suki fighting with Zerman. Patrick Zerman trying to win his third race of the year. Suki hasn't won once this year. After Suki beat Zerman last season, Super Zerman has been all over Suki this year. And of course, don't forget, Rodriguez is leading the championship dominantly by about 40 points, and he's back and forth at the moment. Java has got the fastest final sector, but you can see he's just dropped right off the back of them at the moment. Right, I'll look and see. Suki try one at the chicane. Java is a decent distance back. I feel like if Suki gets ahead, he might be able to get released. The question is, has he got the drive? And no, he's lost actually quite a lot of time here. So I'm not sure what happened to Suki, maybe a misshift or something, but he's now coming to attack from Laszlo Jarbo, who might fancy his chances down the inside, thinks better of it. Meanwhile, Thompson is going down the inside of Harrison for 5th. Charlotte Thompson's had a rough year at ITCL, but she's flying at the moment as she breezes ahead of Harrison into 5th place. Now Henry tries to go down the inside on Harrison, and the young Canadian gets ahead of the young Brit. At the moment, Harrison comes back, however. Here, although Henry is going to be right on the inside now. And they virtually side by side, and as they come into the braking zone, it is the Canadian who is ahead of the Brit. 8th place to Kennedy, then Nixon, then Corsing, then Saba, Marison is coming to pressure on Jenny, then Ness, Aston Graz Kona, then Ramirez, Servan, Kuznetsov, Minas Varakis up to 21st, and Battle Flores, Nemeth, Bernard Weber, also Ohm and Mayama. Servan leads, he's now pulled away, and Suki's lost quite a bit of time there. So not sure if he's burnt out the tyres or something, but he's coming to pressure from Jarbo now. Rodriguez, Thompson is 4th, Henry and Harrison continue to fight for 6th, and then there's a gap back to Kennedy, and then Nixon and Coulson were fighting for 9th. With 5 laps gone, 13 to go. Even if Jarbo can keep up with Suki in the straight, if he will not be close enough for P2. Down into the chicane. Jarbo a bit too far back on that occasion. Thompson has pulled away right away from Henry and Harrison. I get the feeling Harrison might be fancying his chances for a move, but Henry just covers off that inside. That's going to make it difficult for Harrison. Further back, we can see Saba going down the inside, and that was a very interesting line from Madison as Saba gets ahead of Core to get up into the top 10. And there you can see Ness, who's coming the pressure from Asichenko. Down the inside goes the Russian, and he makes his way up into the points ahead of Ness. And that's Kona back in 16th behind them, so no points at the moment for Oulton, which is a nightmare for them. It's going to start 18th and on 24th. Be their first race where they haven't taken a point all season. But we're going to go back ahead because we can see Jenny going down the inside of Madison. Of course, joined Lava Online from Liberté at the the moment he is fighting with a Liberty and Madison, although it is the Liberty of Madison who does just about come out on top. And what's something happened to Thompson, because she's now dropped behind both Harrison and Henry. Oh, that's what happened with Thompson, coming under braking. Car just wouldn't slow down in time, and off into the barrel trap she goes. That means she's kind of pressure from her former rival in WTCL, Archie Kennedy. 4th, 7th place, then Nixon in 9th, then Sauer, Korsic, then Madison and Jenny, and now Sachenko running out of the points. Back to, well, the EPS, Jarbo's not really doing enough. However, then Emily having a great little scrap here for 5th. Both of these young drivers have looked decent since joining ITCL. Or at least they've shown driving. Henry's picked up 8 points in 3 races. Harrison sits 5th in the championship with 2 podiums to his name this year. So, you know, Harrison's got the pace in there. Teammate Ohms running down in 27th after the earlier incident. Oh, Corsi was got back as well. He was ahead of both of these. So what happened to Corsic? So as he was going for the swooper, oh yeah, he just gets offline. Slows right down to a call and drops to 13th. So there we go, as Kona's trying to get ahead of Asachenko. Asachenko all gets bumped, then bumps into Ness, which holds the Ness up. Might allow Ramirez to get past, but it doesn't. So Kona's offensive point, but nightmare race for Corsic this. Qualified 7th, but he's dropped down to 13th here, and any good chance of points for Motorline have gone. At least for now. Maybe the pit stops can save it. So we now see Jarbo trying to get ahead of Suzuki, but still unable to do anything there. As Henry's still ahead of Harrison. Then we look further back. See Jenny waiting for Madison and Corsic, and then as Kona, and then further down you can see Barricade has actually made up a couple of places now. So she's beginning to finally pick up the pace after her slow start. Meanwhile, outside the points, we might as well show this fight. We see Kuznetsov making his way up to 22nd, getting ahead of 2 million driver Nydia Flores, and now Dominic Nemev, who was last at one stage, goes right round the outside, and Flores defends that fairly easily. And then, of course, Villanueva, who must have been involved in an incident at some point, holds a Omen and Mayala all well back. So that leads. So Jarbo's close to Suki. Suki had some very strong early pace, but ever since then, he's just been a shell of what he was early on in the race. So we'll have to wait and see. Down into the chicane. Is Jarbo close enough? The answer is no. Let's see if Harrison can get it done on Henry. So we come into the braking. Harrison doesn't go for it. Then Thompson, then Kennedy, then Nixon and Sauer. No, overtakes him. No. So look further back. Maybe this fight for 22nd will give us something to look at. It will, as Nemeth goes down the inside on Flores, but doesn't get the move done there. Then fair the weather, Holzer, and then Mayala. So everyone leads. Suki and Chavez still fighting for second. With Rodriguez 4th. Suki has got the fastest lap of the race so far, but that was early on in the race, and since then he's not really shown that level of pace. Silverman leads now by over 2 seconds, hunting down his 3rd one of the year. So far, no DNF. So that's a good sign. We like it when drivers finish. Henry lost time. So he got off at the... he's done the same thing Thompson's done. Well, the car just wouldn't go in and off into the gravel trap. He went deeper than Thompson. So yeah, he's now got dropped back into that train. As we see, there's Sava, there's 2 Melons, there's Madison, there's Jenny and Korsic, and then that's Kona. Suki is very close to the back of Jarbo. Don't think Jarbo's to be close enough here to Suki to pull off a move into the chicane, and no, he's not. Rodriguez is 4th. Oh, he's made a mistake. That was noticeable. He went in too deep. Harrison a clear 5th. Thompson's going to have a look at Henry here, you think? No, but what is going to happen is the two Mallards are going to fight here as Nixon tries to get past Kennedy for 8th place, and Nixon is successful, and now Sava tries to spot an opportunity to go down the inside. Of course, Sava is making up some very nice places in the race here, because after starting P14, he's up to P9 and flying to the Romanian. Kennedy 10th, then Madison, who's showing the pressure from Jenny, and then Cortic and Ascona in 14th. Eames down to Chenkov, Ness, and then Ramirez, who's ahead of Sermon, and then comes Ramakas, and then Bandolin, and then Minas, and then Ryan back at those Flores, Kuznetsov, Nemeth, Villanueva, Holzer, Ohm, and Viola. Zerman's lead is down to 1.2 seconds. So, keep an eye out for that as we see Thompson trying to get past Henry, but unsuccessful there. Further back, Jenny got ahead of Madison. Jenny get ahead of Madison. Oh! Madison just made a mistake and went wide, and Jenny swooped down the inside. So Jenny, after starting 13th, is up to 11th and ahead of Madison. So that's interesting to know. As Conan's now caught up to the back of Cortic, so the Rotors are finding some strong race pace. Still, Zhao is right to the back of Suki, but every time he gets to the chicane, which is the main overtaking spot here, he's always just too far away to really send it. That's been Chabo's issue the whole race, really. But he does look a little bit closer this time to Suki. I think this is the closest he's ever been. So if you're ever going to see an opportunity from Chabo for second, it's now. He doesn't do it again. Rodriguez is just doing nothing. He's racing a clear 4th. Harrison and then Henry is just clear enough away from Thompson to not be overtaken. Could see Madison overtaking Jenny for 12th here. We'll just see if anyone ahead does anything, which they don't. And Jenny goes down, and Madison goes down the inside, and Jenny comes back down the inside. Then he hits the side of Madison and drops back down to 12th. Meanwhile in the background, oh, and that's Kronos tag Cortic. That's going to drop Cortic to drop to 14th now as Chenkov is going to look. It's not going to happen there. What's happened to Ramikas? The answer is she's fine with Minas. I saw her drawing the left hand side. I thought she was out, but she's still going. Never committed the weather fighting, then a couple of those further back down the field. Let's see, because Thompson's right at the back of Henry, and then behind them we got a three-way fight for 8 between Nixon, Savo, and Kennedy. Charlie's not close enough. Thompson's still right at the back of Henry. And then you can see the two Mallards are fighting with Sava. And then Madison and Jenny are behind them. See, heading towards the chicane. What's going to happen here? What is going to happen is an overtake attempt from Sava and Nixon. Can't get it done. Kennedy tries to get past, can't. So at the end of all of that, Sava stays P9, but can't get the job done on Nixon. It's coded there, then Cortic, that's Chenkov, and then Server with Ramirez, Vandalin, Ramikas, Minas. Flores is ahead of Kuznetsov, and Villanueva is going to get ahead of Nemeth. Now tries to get ahead of Kuznetsov, but not going to happen there, and then obviously the back markers. Suki's began to drop Shara a bit, as they haven't really had the race pace. Sava having to defend on Kennedy has brought in Madison, who's going to try and go round the outside into turn 1. That'd be brave if he can do it. He doesn't even need turn 1, he's already got the move done before he even got to turn 1. Great move there by Benjamin Madison as he moves himself up to the top 10. birthday third in the championship, running 9th and 10th at the moment. Not really where they'd hoped to be, but point to point at the moment. This now means Jenny has come right onto the back of Kennedy. So Turner leads, then Suki, then Charlotte, Rodriguez, Allison, and then we see Thompson still playing with Henry over the grand order of 6th position. This is actually 18th and 26th in the championship, although Henry's only had 3 races, Thompson's had the entire season. So she's been one of the big busts of the year. I'm not making the joke there, as we see her closing up to Henry. Yeah, Charlotte's dropped over a second away from Suki now. Let's see, can Thompson get the job done? No, she can't. Further back. No overtake attempt there. Might be able to see Ramirez trying to get ahead of Summer for 17th. It's just some action, really, isn't it? Even that's not happening. Oh, we got a huge contact. I think Ramicas. Yep. Sure, see what penalty. So what happened was Derek Ramicas under braking, and she just couldn't slow down and go straight into the back of Van der Linde. And Ramicas, who started 18th, I think it was it 15th? It was 15th. Dropped down towards the back of the field, and now she's going to have to pit with damages. The good news, though, is she'll be able to go to the end of the race. The bad news is she'll have a long pit stop. Suki's pitting, so I think the pit window is open. Right about now, actually. Yeah, Rodriguez is doing the same. So, it might not work out too badly. She'll be able to get a nice undercut off people. So, Zerman leads, he's not pitting. Suki is. Shaw is not. Rodriguez is. Harrison is. Henry is. Thompson isn't. Nixon is. Savo isn't. Madison is. Kennedy isn't. Jenny is. Ascona is. Kortig is. After decides not to. Ness does. Ramirez, Summer does what Ramirez does. Minas and Madeline don't. Flores does. Nemeth isn't, because Netsop is. Vanderlove is fine with Holzer and he's paying. Holzer is not. Ohm isn't. Ramicus is paying. And Maello, I don't care. Zerman leads. Suki second. We'll have to keep an eye on the pit stops as we see Thompson, who's attacking Henry. You're going to get a pit. Let's have a look. Thompson can get the job done. Henry, she's very close. Under braking, she stays behind. As we now see Sava trying to get ahead of Nixon, who is pitting. He doesn't need to make this move, Sava. But he has, and he's up to 8th place. Started 14th. He's having a brilliant little race there, Romanian. Madison staying ahead of Kennedy. Then Kortik's now dropped out of the points. As Sastachenko's up to 14th, so after starting 7th. Kortik's race is falling apart. He needs the strategy change that work big time. Meanwhile, Ramicus is back out on track, 26 seconds behind Maella. Right, so Suki's in. We will use this camera. So Rodriguez, Harris, and Suki are all in. Henry is. So Zerman's still leading on Charlo. Thompson goes through into effective third. So Suki loses nothing. He's going to come out. Where's he going to come out? He comes out ahead of Sava. Rodriguez does the same, so he loses nothing. A load of people over the pits. So, there we go. We'll see where they all come out. As I thought Ramirez was coming out there, but no, he's coming in. Nixon is coming out followed by Jenny. So that's interesting to know. Harrison's lost out. Yeah, Harrison lost out. Also, Madison lost out because he was ahead of Jenny. So that's not good news there. So now see Ramirez leaving the pits. And then we don't really care, do we? So, earlier. So Zerman leads. Suki's 20 seconds down the road. We'll see how it plays out. Actually, Zerman's not even paying. He's going for a really long strategy, Zerman. I guess he's got such good race pace, he doesn't really need to worry. So into the pits comes Jaro. we'll just keep an eye on how they go on here. So Sermon still leads. Let's see, where is Sharma going to come out? As now they all will probably put him behind. Right, so Suki comes through now. Here comes Sharbo. And Suki is still ahead of Sharbo. By quite some distance, actually. Rodriguez comes through, he's still 4th. The question is, who's going to be 5th? You'd expect Thompson, but I've yet to see her come through. Here comes Saba. I mean, he's having an excellent race. He was up to 8th before the pit stops. He's going to come up P5. Kennedy's coming through in 6th. Just ahead of Nixon. Jenny's up to 8th in all of this. 9th place will be Asachenkov, so he's jumped up from 14th. Madison in the end actually didn't lose too much. He stays 10th. With Harrison up to 11th. Sermon's up to 12th. 13th place is going to be Ness. Thompson loses out. She's going to come up 14th, just ahead of Henry, who's also dropped down. So that Henry, Thompson, Harrison stuff did not work out. Nemeth up to 16th. Followed by Ascoda and Korting. With Ramirez in 19th. And then he'll be behind them, Mayala. Getting towards the back of the grid. Where we don't really care, but yeah, so now Zerman's going to pit. He's the only driver that hasn't pitted. He's run a really long overcut. We'll see if it pays off for him. He leads by just under 20 seconds. From Suki and Sharma, Rodriguez and Saba, Kennedy, Nixon and Jenny. So let's see if Waterford can get the pit stop done for Zerman. As he comes into the pits. So keep an eye out for Suki. He's currently going, but you can see him on the top right of your minimap. He's currently going on the final corner now. Or the final couple of corners, actually. And Zerman's already out. Now, there's Suki. And Zerman, as he comes out onto the track, he is 2 seconds ahead of Suki and back out into the race lead. So it's worked out a treat for Zerman, the overcut from Suki in second, then Jarve, Rodriguez, Saba, Kennedy. Nixon under pressure from Jenny is the highest fight out on the track. Jenny was having a quiet little race. He was down about 12th before the pit stops up to 8th. He's now got a chance for 7th, although he has lost a bit of time there. Couple of fights further back. Let's see. So in the lead up, Suki second, Jarve third. Rodriguez fourth, Sarah fifth, Kennedy sixth, then Nixon. Jenny's dropped off the back of him, then Asachenkov and Madison, then Harrison, Sermon, Ness, and then Thompson and Henry, followed by Nemeth. But yeah, there's nothing really going on, is there? No DNFs either. That's interesting. Normally would have seen somewhat more by now, but no, they will keeping the reliability in check. The highest fight really is Vandalin versus my Flores for 21st. So there we go. No points for both of us. It stands as Kono is about 6 seconds on the points. Madison set the fastest lap of the race at some point. Just keep an eye out for him. There is one fight out on the track. Azachenko's closed up to the back of Jenny for 8th. See if Jenny can do anything here. Teammate Maverick is 23rd. Azachenko's teammate is Holdsworth, he's 26th. So both of these guys, their teammates, are not having stellar races, so I'll look to just keep it clean. The chicane. Jenny a bit slow. Asachenkov can't get past. Actually, slows down himself there. So Jenny's got no race pace, but Asachenkov couldn't get past, and now he's trying to get ahead. And he goes to move down the inside. But he's not going to get it done there. He was too far back, and Jenny's not going to wait a bit. Madison 10th, but the fastest out of the race, and Harrison, Sermon, Ness, and then Thompson and Henry. Madeline still behind Flawless. The fight for 21st. Madeline with the move. There's the 21st, and Madeline just got alongside, and he's got to head up to 21st, and now he's got 5.5 seconds of empty air ahead of him. Actually, now Allison has clocked the back of Allison. This is for 10th place. Because there is still a fight for 8th place between Asachenkov and Jenny. Can Asachenkov get it done? He's in P9. Jenny is P8. Really close to Jenny, but he doesn't go for the move. Meanwhile, Harrison closes up to Madison. Will he go for the move? No, he won't. Final lap begins for Sermon. To be a good point holders for Waterford, as they're on course to take a 1-2 with Adbay down in 3rd and 4th. Savard's 5th, he started 14th. Kennedy is 6th, Nixon is 7th, and good result for Mallard. Jenny is holding on for 8th at the moment. You're not going nicely. I want to get minus a wine with as much speed, but stay on the tarmac. You want to go to the grass then, with the carry as much speed as possible. But don't go too wide or you'll end up on the dirty side of the track. Then into the half, you want to get it nice and slowed down. Hook up the inside and let it roll, carry as much speed, and then get the foil down quickly, but don't get it over too quickly, or you'll accidentally lose the wheel end. Once you lose the wheel end, then you've got no traction and you've got no grip. Then up the hill, you've got to be careful here. Lots of bumps. It's quite a bumpy surface. It's hard to walk this chicane when you go for the move on Malcolm Jenny. No. I think Jenny's going to be okay for 8th. Back to the lead though. Patrick Zerman has dominated this race already. As he comes through to win the Oulton Park race, followed by his teammate Kentaro Suzuki, who equals his best result of the season in 2nd. Jarwo is going to complete the podium 3rd. Rodriguez in 4th, so the title race swings Waterford's favour. Corner of Savage started 14th, it was up to 8th even before the pit stops. But a lovely pit stop by the birthday gang. It's going to see Corner of Savage impressed to finish 5th in the end for the birthday. Archie Eddy is 6th, with his teammate Connor Nixon coming through to finish that for good point haul for Mallard. With Malcolm Jelly, that's got to be outside of Ravika's last round. Another strong result for Lara. Asachenkov 9th, Madison 10th, top 10, then Harrison, who dropped out in the pits. Sermon gets some points on Butterline, which is massive. Ness 13th. Thompson completes the point. She was running well before the pit stop, so a bit unfortunate for her. Henry's going to finish outside the points after more pit stop issues. Nemeth came from nowhere to get 16th, and that's Conan. No points to Wotal. Cordic started 7th. It was a nightmare wage for him in 18th. Ramirez is going to clock Ryan Hill finish 19th. Maela is going to finish in 20th position. the highest of the Red Stars. Van der Linden, after getting rear-ended by Ramicus, who will probably receive a penalty for Herman. Baldwin in that instance is going to finish 21st, with Flores finishing 22nd. Ramicus poor race from 15th down to 23rd. And a penalty then, because Nelson went Minas, and also after the incident, he got caught up with Owen 26, 27. In last. That's all for the ITCL. This race was terrible. Goodbye.